going to show you some numbers that are going to show you just exactly how good this start has been for this defending world championship Laker club.
Well, obviously you start with 7-0 and go back about 5 years, and there was a Seattle club that started 12-0, and if the Lakers get past this game and Milwaukee, who they play here Sunday, then they'll be well on their way. But look at the margin. That's also what really jumps out at you. 3 straight wins by at least 24 points, 140-plus points the last 2 games. They have outshot their opponents in every game, and you just go on and on. Look at the scoring per game. That's #1 in the NBA, and at the Forum, even better. And the shooting, also #1 in the NBA, overall about 52%, a little bit better than what they show here at the Forum. So, again, it's a whole list of things that you have to do to control this incredible offensive machine.
You see the officials for tonight's game on the left, Jack Madden, on the right, Mike Lauerman. The tip is controlled by the Mavericks. Lakers are coming in off a 142-115 victory over Portland Tuesday night. Mavericks' last game was Wednesday at Reunion Arena when they downed the L.A. Clippers by a score of 97-87. Sam Perkins fouled out in front to start tonight's game. The foul is on Byron Scott. As the starting lineup, very familiar names there for both ball clubs.
The one factor for the Lakers that is new this year is the amount of offense they're getting out of A.C. Green. He's really become a weapon in their system and has improved across the board. He's scoring about 6 more points than last year. He is tied with Roy Tarpley for 9th in the NBA in rebounding, and whereas that used to be kind of a vacuum as you look at A.C. when Kurt Rambis was the starter, it's just another, and now 5 full starters out there that you have to cover all the way. He can shoot from outside and inside.
Sam Perkins, who has been very slow at the free throw line this year, was only shooting 64%. Makes them both for the first points of the game. And here Derek Harper takes the ball away from Kareem Abdul-Jabbar ahead to Mark Aguirre, and the Mavericks have the first 4 points of the contest.
And so far, it looks very familiar. Last time the Mavericks were in here, they won 103-99.
Here's Jabbar backing down James Donaldson to get the Lakers' first points of the evening.
Harper, in those Dallas wins last year, very active defensively, really hounding Magic Johnson, making him play a full game.
And Derek Harper, who is second on the Mavericks in shots attempted to Aguirre, scores, and at the other end, the Lakers get just enough of a fast break started that Mark Aguirre is forced to foul or give up the driving jam to James Worthy.
Donaldson just hoping with his back turned he might deflect that ball, and went right through his arms, and then the power move by Worthy. 16th in scoring coming in, better than 21 points per game, and absolutely the prototype small forward in this Laker attack because of the incredible speed that he shows. Has to be the fastest front line man in the NBA.
And of course, Dave, the jam shots that he gets on the fast breaks are so psychologically debilitating because of his awesome leaping ability. When he takes off, it's almost like those should count more than 2 points because of what they do to the opposition. Mavericks with a 3-point lead. Swing it to Aguirre, who looks to drive on A.C. Green. Gets his shot off over Jabbar. Perkins on the offensive glass.
And right there's something else that Dallas did so well when they won the 3 games a year ago. Stayed after it on the offensive boards.
Worthy from the outside keeps the Lakers to within 3 here in the early going. And Harper to answer at the other end. Can't get this one down. Magic tips it to Worthy. And Lakers get it back to the Magic man as they look for the up-tempo, and Byron Scott to the basket. And John McLeod up off the Maverick bench will use his 22nd timeout as the Maverick lead over the Lakers has been cut to 1.
Alan, something that we've seen early on and with a lot of consistency from John McLeod, it's a little bit of a change from the Dick Monty era, is the fact that he goes to those early timeouts. He sees something he doesn't like, doesn't matter if the first minute of the game, he'll go ahead and use, if it takes this many, 2 or 3 first quarter timeouts to get his early game points across. Yeah, he is definitely a coach that wants to try to stop momentum whenever he sees it building up at the other end. And there you go to the floor to see the drive by Byron Scott as the Mavericks just did not get back defensively, and that no doubt the thrust of the conversation on the Maverick bench
during that timeout. There's Blackman in the corner. Magic with the rebound. And again, the long outlet, this time to Worthy. So the Lakers starting to crank up that fast break, Dave, and that's got to mean difficulty for the Mavericks.
One interesting matchup, and you saw Magic start that break with the defensive board. He's guarding the Mavericks power forward, Sam Perkins. So they have Byron's guard Harper, and it makes it a little harder on Derek because he's got to keep Magic from running. And it's difficult when it's not the man guarding him.
Blackman underneath, could not finish. Jabbar with the rebound, and here comes Kareem all the way to the roar of the Forum crowd. Here's A.C. Green, and again the Mavericks give up the lane, but this time Donaldson is there for the rebound, but throws the ball away to Rolando Blackman, so Dallas turns it right back over.
A little bit out of sync. Every game they've gotten a little bit closer, it seems. But the left hand for the Mavericks still doesn't quite know what the right hand is doing, and you saw right there, Blackman not expecting a pass until it was already thrown, and it was too far behind him to do anything about it.
Lakers from the half-court set, Magic with the screen, and Perkins limits L.A. to one shot. Mavericks looking for the early shot themselves, but Blackman not seeing it, pulls it back out, and here's a call away from the ball on Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for holding James Donaldson. Second team foul against the Lakers. Jabbar at 40 years old, easily the oldest player in the NBA, and by starting his 19th season, longest tenure in the history of professional basketball. Perkins posting against Magic Johnson, flips it into the basket, and Sam has 6 of the Mavericks' first 10.
Boy, good sign, Allen. Sam Perkins has really struggled with his offensive game as the rebound goes off of A.C. Green. Looked like Blackman might have touched it last, but if there's any starter that the Mavericks have looked for consistency from night in, night out, well, they haven't gotten it so far, it's Sam Perkins, but he's got the best start going.
And we mentioned he has not been making his free throws. He's been having some foul difficulty. Getting on track early offensively tonight, though missing the outside jumper this time, and A.C. Green is there with the rebound. Green, of course, off to an excellent start, as we've mentioned a couple of times. 11 boards a game. Jabbar with the double team, so Magic will put it up from outside. And again, there's Sam Perkins.
Twice in a row, Allen, the Mavericks have seen the Lakers do what they hope they have to do all night, and that's settled for the long outside shot. Even as good a shooter as Magic Johnson is, that's better than the alternative.
Dwyer's second basket of the contest. He comes in as the 6th leading scorer in the NBA at a tick under 26 a contest. Byron Scott answers back for the Lakers, and so it continues to be a 1-point Maverick advantage. There's another holding foul away from the ball on the Lakers. This one's going to be on A.C. Green. Lakers boast 4 #1 draft choices: Jabbar, Magic, Billy Thompson, and James Worthy. Most franchises figure if they ever get a number one, it's a plus. The Lakers have 4 on their current 12-man roster. Here's Harper for 3. He's got half of the Mavericks' 8 3-point makes this season, but not this time. Scott. And Derek Harper cuts in front of Magic Johnson for the takeaway. Mavericks in the 2-on-1. Dwyer lays it home. And again, it's the Mavericks by 3 at 14-11 as we go under 7 minutes to go in the initial period.
And so far, matching him running game for running game, and good outside shot for good outside shot. It's just a matter of keeping this up for 48 minutes because the Lakers simply don't have letdown. That's what the Mavericks have been fighting. There's 2 or 3 periods during the course of the game where they can't get the offense going.
Foul is on Derek Harper. It's the second against the Mavericks, who lead the Lakers by 3. Exactly. I had the right idea, just the wrong concept.
And Billy Thompson's college teammate, Milt Wagner, the former #2 draft pick by Dallas last year, didn't make the 86-87 roster, has stuck with the Lakers this year, and part of that reason might be the fact that Thompson's on the injured list. But they have played and liked what they've seen so far of Mr. Wagner.
He has been a surprise for them. Those were the first points of the night for Magic Johnson. As again, Lakers have cut the Maverick advantage down to a point, and the Dallas attack very deliberate on this trip up the floor. Harper eventually penetrates the defense and is fouled by Byron Scott, his second and the team's fourth. That'll send Harper to the foul line. Derek had a career high of 35 last Saturday night, and the Mavericks win over the Portland Trailblazers. You saw the block by Jabbar, but earlier on the drive, Byron Scott had reached in.
And it's only his third point right there, but so far, and we're obviously early, not even halfway through the first quarter, but so far Harper has out-magicked Magic. He's controlled the tempo. John McLeod's seen him make some, two in particular, real big defensive plays. And a great drive right there, right through the heart of the Laker defense to draw the foul.
Tough shot by Worthy. Actually ends up almost being a pass to Kareem. He pops it in from close range. And again, we continue to seesaw back and forth with the Mavericks alternating between a 3- and 1-point lead. This time Harper works against Scott again out front as the Lakers switching on defense. This time have Magic on Blackman. Donaldson into the lane for his first points.
Off the wrong foot, too. I mean, that says agile a play as James Donaldson has made since he's had all the leg problems.
Speaking of agility, Kareem easily gets around Donaldson for the jam, and a half dozen for the all-time scoring leader in professional basketball. Now the Lakers switch again. Magic on Perkins. There's Aguirre out front. Worthy has position. Always look to get the ball into that man's hands. Magic to Kareem, and that is why. Johnson again leading the NBA in assists at 11.5 a contest, and John McLeod will stop play again with a little over 5 minutes still to go in the first quarter. Mr. Johnson working some of his magic as the Lakers have their first lead of the evening. Lakers' first advantage of the contest. Dallas coming in tonight. Dave shooting only, they were the 19th in the league in shooting percentage. Lakers, no surprise, were #1, and the early field goal stats bear that out so far this evening.
Well, the key is the fact they have been able to get it to Kareem in the 5 to 10-foot range where he likes to shoot it. He's made all 4 of his attempts. So while Donaldson made the good move on the offensive end so far, not quite as adept on the defensive end at keeping up with Abdul-Jabbar.
Maverick shooting has been a problem all season. Last year they were the 4th most accurate ball club in the league. Shooting as a 3-second violation goes against James Donaldson, but not so far this year. As we mentioned, only 4 teams in the league shooting worse than the Mavericks, who right there on the 3-second violation turned it over for the second time this evening. Under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Worthy drifting outside. Donaldson pulls down the rebound. Teams are even on the boards, each credited with 7.
I really think the Mavericks feel the Lakers do them a favor every time they take that outside shot early in their offense. Because the more they work at the bigger threat, as Dallas turns it over again here, the bigger the threat of the quick pass inside by Magic and the easy basket.
Bad break for the Mavericks there because the foul offensively is number 2 of the night on Mark Aguirre.
Mavericks with the straight-ahead matchups by position, unlike what the Lakers have done defensively.
Jabbar puts it on the floor, and the famous skyhook is off, and Derek Harper scrapes it down ahead to Rolando Blackman, who's the only Maverick starter not to have scored here in the first quarter. Every Laker has scored excepting A.C. Green. Aguirre pushes the ball out near midcourt with the shot clock only now down to 12. Now bangs on Worthy, who gets called for the foul, and that will put the Mavericks into the penalty with a little over 4 minutes still to go in the initial stanza. Aguirre coming in, it's had 66 points the last 2 games. As there you see the, by percentage, winningest coach in the history of the National Basketball Association, 73% for Pat Riley, who has seen his team get into the finals 5 of the 6 seasons he's been an NBA head coach. This is not a coach who has faced a lot of adversity, Dave.
No. In no way has he struggled, at least from the talent standpoint. Again, when you talk about the motivation job he does, it's a different story because there are a lot of coaches that wouldn't be as good at getting his team to play as hard as it does every night.
Offensive foul call on Byron Scott, and that's number 3 on Scott. And that'll get Michael Cooper, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, up off the Laker bench. We may have seen the end of Byron Scott maybe until halftime as you see Sam Perkins hit the deck.
And a lot of times that's such a hard call to make, whether it's an offensive or defensive foul, but Perkins was well set in Scott's path, and in that case, a very obvious third foul on Scott.
McGuire has got a little bit of foul difficulty with 2, but this time just blowing by A.C. Green, and Mark leads all scorers with 9.
Not sure if he could have made that move last year. The lost 20 pounds has made him, on that play at least, on a par with A.C. Green in quickness.
Magic opts for the outside jumper, and again, there's Donaldson. Ooh, Mark McGuire gets called for his third, so more foul difficulties for the Mavericks, and obviously the loss of McGuire is more important to the Maverick cause than the loss of Scott is to the Lakers situation. So Mark departs, and Roy Tarpley is into the contest.
Now McGuire leads with 9 points.
There's that super quick drive by James Worthy, who takes it to the hoop. He's got 7. We're tied. A little over 3 minutes still to go. And Blackman gets his first points of the contest to reclaim the advantage for Dallas.
Lakers help him out there by failing to match up with him in the half-court game.
Worthy just continues to impress. Another swooping drive. Mavericks not picking him up. That is Aguirre's man. So maybe Tarpley having difficulty figuring that out as Blackman leans in. And Jabbar with a long outlet overthrow for Cooper. Chases it down and burns the jumper.
And it's starting to have the looks of one of those runs where you never know where they're coming from the Lakers. Generally, if they're behind by 8 or 10 points, that spurs it on. But here they see the opportunity with Aguirre out of there to go for a sizable lead. And the makings are there.
Perkins, though, answers from the corner to stick. He's got 8. Dallas again draws even in what has been just that, a very evenly played first quarter. Magic has not had much success with the outside jumper. He came in shooting 48% from the field. Last year was 52. Here's Tarpley at the other end. They'll say he shuffled his feet. And the 4th Maverick turnover of the period. Jabbar departs as Michael Thompson, 10th in the NBA in field goal percentage, into the contest as Kareem sits down.
And James Donaldson to keep up with the natural forward, Michael Thompson.
This time A.C. Green sets the screen out front for Magic, who finally gets the jumper to go. He's got 4. Blackman from outside.
And the Mavericks start to really look his way in the absence of Aguirre. He hit the first shot. He's missed the last couple. And some people are going to have to help out here. And some people who have very low shooting percentages at this point, like Donaldson and like Tarpley, and they need to continue to see what we've seen so far from Perkins.
Michael Thompson feeling the mismatch there in size against James Donaldson, reaches in and gets called for the foul. Wes Matthews is on for Magic Johnson, who departs with only 1 of 5 shooting. We will pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're watching Dallas Mavericks basketball.
Michael J. Fox helps kick off Totally Awesome Movies Week in Poison Ivy. Sunday night at 6 on KTVT Channel 11, Fort Worth, Dallas.
James Donaldson in his 521st consecutive game played this evening has 3 points. Just starting to run into shape, and every night, Dave, that you watch James Donaldson, you get the feeling he's a little bit closer to getting to 100%.
Yeah, especially in rebounding, that's showing itself. 14 boards in the last game, 16 in the game Saturday night against Portland, so the leg must not be hurting all that much.
But James Worthy is certainly hurting the Mavericks with a variety of shots. He's got 11 points in the period, as we will go under a minute on this possession in the first quarter. Harper takes Matthews to the basket, banks it high off the glass. A 6-point period for Derek Harper. The Mavericks staying even with the undefeated defending world champion Lakers.
You have to look for people to raise their individual games. Harper's done that, and Perkins has done that. And Aguirre was doing it until he got his 3rd foul.
Thompson misses from in close, and Blackman picks the rebound up off the floor. In case you just tuned in, Mark Aguirre forced to leave with 3 personal fouls. Byron Scott also picked up his 3rd personal with about 4 minutes to go in the first period. Harper out front. Lakers can play for the final shot of the period. They're looking for the fast break as Wes Matthews gives it off to Thompson, who is fouled from behind by Roy Tarpley.
A must, if you're Tarpley, to go ahead and take that foul, though. Dallas a little bit slow getting back as a team defensively, and Tarpley had to streak down there to deny the jam by Michael Thompson. And you just hope that Tarpley isn't forced into that situation too often, because that's really a guy that they can't afford to lose to fouls.
Uwe Blab into the contest for James Donaldson, as Thompson, who last year posted career lows in scoring, rebounding, and field goal percentage, as we mentioned, 10th in the NBA in field goal percentage to start this year at 57%. Only a 69% foul shooter, converts 1 of 2, and the Mavericks working for the final shot of the initial period and a chance to take the lead. Tarpley, they'll say he never really had possession, so did not travel with the ball. Gets off the last shot, doesn't matter anyway, as the shot is off the mark. And so through the first 12 minutes, the Lakers hang on to a tenuous 1-point lead over the Mavericks. Alan Stone, Dave Barnett back at the Forum in Los Angeles. Mavericks holding their own through the first quarter, though they're being outshot from the field, which is not surprising because the Lakers are the most accurate shooting team in the NBA. Dallas with a 2-rebound advantage. Despite losing Mark Aguirre with 3 personal fouls, he had 9 points before departing. The illegal defense call is against the Mavericks on the first Lakers possession here in quarter number 2. Brad Davis has checked into the ballgame for the Mavericks, replacing Derek Harper and John McLeod up off the Maverick bench.
Well, Alan, this is where the bench has to snap out of it. They have been outscored in every game this year by a total of 380 to 186, almost by 200 points.
The drive by Ward this time snuffed. I think that was Blob. Detlef Schrempf is also into the contest for the Mavericks. He handles the ball here and scores the first basket by Detlef Schrempf in 4 games. So that's the definite plus for the Mavericks as he breaks a long drought. 9th lead change already as the Mavericks take the advantage back, and here's a foul on Brad Davis out front.
Nothing could be more encouraging for the Mavericks than to see Detlef Schrempf get his first shot. Some comments in the papers back in Dallas about his, in the last couple of games, decreased role, but John McLeod's hands have been tied a little bit because Detlef has just not rolled up any numbers while he's been in there.
Anytime.
Maybe that ends tonight.
Yeah, anytime the Mavericks will let Wes Matthews take an outside jumper. He does get a hand on the pass in the backcourt by the Mavericks and slows them down in getting the ball into the offensive end. Davis works against Matthews here and gives it up to Tarpley. Yeah, Schrempf was 0 for 7 from the field in the last 3 games for the Mavericks, and they've got to get more production than that out of him. Blackman is fouled by Michael Cooper.
Great up fake by Blackman to get that man fight for it. The returning defensive player of the year in the NBA is Kurt Rambis, still a popular figure here at the Forum. Makes his first appearance for AC Green.
As Green departs, yeah, Rambis in only 19 minutes the other night had 10 boards and 12 points. Should remain popular with numbers like that. Tarpley's outside jumper won't go. Blob almost kept it alive, but the Lakers come away with it. Magic on the bench, so Wes Matthews continues to handle the ball. Cooper into Michael Thompson. His first basket. The Lakers take the lead back.
Hard for me to believe, but they voted the all-interview team in the NBA last year. Michael Thompson was only 2nd team. Might be a little bit backed off at that.
Very quotable is Michael Thompson. Blackman with the miss, and here's Cooper. Lakers looking for the break, and there's Worthy missing. Well, you won't see that more than a half dozen times in the season. Worthy coming in from the wing and missing the layup. Brad Davis trying to capitalize at the other end, gets it to Blob. As Uwe Blab has definitely become this season. James Donaldson's back up in the middle, at least during the early part of this year, and has done very well.
Yeah, there's no more alternating anymore. Blob and Blob alone is the backup center. Bill Wennington has not had a whole lot of minutes lately, but it just boils down to the continued improvement of Uwe, one of the harder-working Mavericks on the team.
They'll give the ball over to the Mavericks. Sure looked like Detlef Schrempf lost the handle on the rebound, but must have been a Laker over the top to knock it out of bounds as Magic Johnson returns for James Worthy, who continues to lead all scorers with 11. Here's a foul away away from the ball, an offensive foul. It's on Uwe Blab, so the Mavericks turn it over now for the 6th time, and that's the 3rd offensive foul call against Dallas as Sam Perkins checks back in. And sitting down is Rolando Blackman.
For the first time tonight, so Schrempf will move into the backcourt, and he's got a major assignment here, having to keep up with Magic.
Perkins flying at Michael Cooper. Gets called for the 2nd Dallas foul this quarter. And as the players shuffle in and out of the game, you really do begin to key on the Mavericks' lack of bench scoring. Roy Tarpley has been the bench.
Well, one thing that's got to be fun about being Pat Riley is the fact that you can literally put almost any combination out there and you still have such versatility. You got forwards who can run, guards that can rebound, and whatever he does out there, he's still got the basics of what he needs.
Nice block by Blob inside against Wes Matthews. Kurt Rambis gets called for the loose ball foul. We apologize for being a little slow with the identification of the fouls, but we are up pretty high here at the Forum, and sometimes it's difficult to see the signals that the officials are giving to the scorer's table.
A first for the Mavericks this year. Brad Davis and Derek Harper paired in the backcourt together.
Yes, indeed. Of course, it's only Davis's 2nd game back. Sat out the first 5 on the injured list with a sprained right ankle. Thompson rebounding the miss by the Mavericks. The Magic ahead to Wes Matthews, who drops it off for Cooper. Well, no matter who's on the floor for L.A., Dave, they just execute the fast break to perfection.
Great work by Wes Matthews, who really took it in 1-on-3. And to his advantage, all 3 defenders came around him, and nobody stayed with Cooper, who popped out wide open. But it's a hard pass to make when you got 3 defenders to make.
Matthews getting a long look here. He only averages 7 minutes a game. A.C. Green will check in for Wes Matthews here. And that's a 3rd team foul against the Lakers this period. Shrimp posting on A.C. Green. So Detlef 2 of 2 from the field, and more good news for the Mavericks off the bench. And Dallas takes the lead back.
Now they move Shrimp on Green, and the onus on Brad Davis as they keep passing Magic Johnson back and forth defensively.
Thompson with the running hook. Finds the bottom of the net. Michael Thompson showing you the accuracy that's gotten him into the top 10 in field goal percentage. That much time to go in the first half of what has been literally a seesaw game. No one has been able to get more than a 3-point advantage so far. Perkins posting against Thompson. Turns to the basket and lays it home, and Sam Perkins goes into double figures with 10.
So much more active on the offensive end than what we've generally seen so far this year by Sam Perkins, playing the center spot here and just taking it right in, just overpowering Michael Thompson that time.
Magic now 2 of 6 and continuing to put up the outside shot. He's got a half dozen, coming off his season high in assists with 14. And the Lakers routed the Portland Trailblazers earlier this week. Harper looking for Shrimp, and Michael Cooper reaches in to pick up his 2nd. Mavericks getting a lot of the foul calls early. 17 lead changes already.
That's not surprising at all. The crowd hasn't had a chance to get into it. They've only been loud once, and that was when Kurt Rambis checked in.
Jabbar back onto the floor, replacing Michael Thompson. Kareem adjusting his goggles. He is by 2 years the oldest player in the league. Artis Gilmore and Caldwell Jones are both 38. Now that Kermit Washington's back on, I guess he's the 4th oldest at 36. Brad Davis burns the outside jumper. That's his first basket of the season. He was 0 for 2 in his late debut Wednesday night against the Clippers.
The ankle problem, looked a little bit unsure on the only 2 shots he took.
Looked pretty sure on that one, though.
Yeah. But he and Shrimp have done what McLeod has asked of them, keeping the bench in the offense.
A running push shot by Magic in the lane. And we continue to go back and forth. About halfway through the 2nd quarter. Mavericks staying right with the Lakers so far. Looking for their 2nd road victory of the year. They've won in Seattle, lost in Salt Lake City and San Antonio. AC steps in front of the pass. Missed for Tarpley. Here's Magic. Rambis kicks it back. to Magic Johnson, and here feeds Johnson going down the lane, and Magic's in double figures.
Get the feeling that the rest of the Lakers have had to become better passers just because of his presence. He set such a high level. And they learned a long time ago that you can never take your eye off of Magic when he's got the ball, because he'll hit you upside the head if you don't. But a great Magic-like return that time by Randall.
Harper a little bit out of his range. Coming off a poor shooting night the other night. He rebounded so well, but just couldn't find the basket. Harper with a nice defensive play here to stop the drive by Magic Johnson. Play will be stopped with 5.5 minutes still to go before the intermission. The Lakers have their largest lead of the evening, but it's only 3 points. Well, you know the Mavericks are one of the more attractive opponents for the Lakers when Jack Nicholson comes out only 2 weeks into the regular season to take his seat at midcourt.
I think he's made just about every Maverick-Laker game here the last 2 or 3 years.
And, of course, a couple of years ago showed up for a couple of Maverick-Laker playoff games in Dallas. Mavericks staying with the Lakers on the bench so far tonight. That's another positive trend for Dallas.
Mavericks 4 of 7 from the field. That's the bench 4 of 7, and the Lakers subs 4 of 8 from the field as Rolando Blackman returns. A lot of the Maverick starters are getting shorter and shorter rest periods. 2 or 3 minutes, and they're right back in there.
Except tonight for Mark Aguirre, who picked up the early 3 personal fouls, and so is sitting out possibly for the remainder of the half. Mavericks this quarter are 6 of 12 from the field. You saw Aguirre. And here's Michael Cooper for 3. Cooper, that is his 8th rainbow of the season. He has 8 of the Lakers' total of 15.
And had 89 of those last year. That came within 3 of Darrell Griffith's all-time single season record. Didn't seem like that. It wasn't quite the hoopla over his streak as opposed to Griffith's a few years ago.
Wipe out the basket by Sam Perkins, who put a shoulder into his defender, gets called for the offensive foul. Yeah, Cooper was 8th overall in the NBA in three-pointers, and that's a statistical category that's based on a combination of makes and percentage. Here's Jabbar. Passing up the skyhook as he draws a little extra defensive attention. Now we'll go to it. And Kareem joins Magic Johnson and James Worthy in a double figures, and the Lakers start to stretch it out. This is their largest advantage, 8 points. Harper, 1 player possession at the other end, and Derek makes it pay off.
Big basket, maybe the biggest of the game so far for the Mavericks by Harper. And the previous Laker possession, the Mavericks played perfect team defense and then still had no defense for the Kareem skyhook.
Mavericks take it away here, and Shrimp goes coast to coast, scores, and is fouled. As A.C. Green gets called for the personal, and now 3 hoops for Shrimp in the quarter.
Well, we said coming in that as a team, maybe the presence of the Lakers would force the Mavericks back to the level they showed at this time a year ago, and individually that seems to happen to Detlef so far tonight. No baskets at all the last 2 games and 6 points already, and he's another one off the bench who has risen to the level required so far.
That was the first free throw attempt by either team this period. Some dialogue in a Dallas paper today that Detlef's a little bit unhappy with his decreasing role, but as you mentioned, Dave, that really is a result of his non-performance on the floor. Here's Kareem with the sky from the middle of the lane, and A.C. Green on the follow, his first points of the night. Green showing us a little bit of the muscle that's gotten him into the top 10 in rebounding here in the early going. He's tied with Roy Tarpley for the 9th position.
Back to Detlef, though, I really get the feeling from John McLeod that he loves to play Shrimp almost as much as he plays Roy Tarpley. But Detlef has to, of course, handle both positions, guard and forward, and almost gets the roll there.
Boy, had that one all the way in before it spun back out, but Detlef looking for his shot aggressively. Boy, Cooper, they're going to dare him to put up the 3. Magic Johnson inside on the follow.
2 straight offensive rebound baskets for the Mavericks, and as I thought, that would get a John McLeod timeout call.
Magic's up to 12. This matches the largest advantage for the Lakers this half. KGCT in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and also the viewers in Little Rock, Arkansas, who are watching us tonight on KRZB. It's a 13-4 run by the Lakers that forced John McLeod to call the timeout. Dallas down by 8.
And what's hurt him, again, is the offensive rebound points that the Lakers have had their last couple of possessions.
Donaldson can't flip in the hook over Kareem, and A.C. Green turns it up a notch.
The absence of Aguirre really becomes noticeable here as the lead grows larger for the Lakers, and the Mavericks unable to come up with points fast.
Magic using that screen, and all of a sudden he's erupted. 10 in the period for Irvin Johnson, who came in tonight averaging 19 and a half last year, and of course led the Lakers in scoring last season, 10th in the NBA in points produced. Blackman on a drive. Thought he was fouled. No call. Kareem outlet to Worthy. A.C. Green will finish, and the Lakers get the crowd up with that fast break, and it's a 12-point Laker lead.
And it was a 4-on-1. There were 4 Mavericks all watching Derek Harper as the lone defender. A couple of them arguing the non-call, but by then it's been made. You only invite trouble if you don't at least get down and make a defensive presence.
Harper drops in the long outside jumper to get into double figures, but the Maverick offense starting to stagnate with Aguirre still on the bench with 3 personal fouls. That basket stopped a 17-4 run, which started with the Mavericks up 39-38. Cooper again left all alone for the 3. Gets it back. And Magic. A.C. Green is hammered.
Well, not to keep hammering on this subject, but you just can't let that happen. That's another A.C. Green offensive rebound and almost a basket off of the board where there were 4 Mavericks inside, all with a chance to prevent that. But he got inside of Blackman, really not his man. And then Perkins and Donaldson have to decide among them who's going to make the foul, and it's Sam Perkins third, so he's another one that has to watch it now.
Yeah, we saw the back of Donaldson's head, but the foul was ruled to be on Sam Perkins. 5 rebounds and now 5 points for A.C. Green.
And Perkins leaves, and Roy Tarpley returns.
Tarpley scoreless tonight and fairly quiet. He has been the Maverick to come off the bench and definitely put his own personal impression on the contest. Great pass here from Harper to Blackman, who misses underneath.
Greater defense by A.C. Green. It was beaten badly. Still recovering.
And here's Green at the other end. 7-point period working for A.C. Green, and the Mavericks in trouble now as they fall behind by 13 points. Wes Matthews has slipped back into the game for the Lakers. Harper, as the defense opens, takes it to the basket. He's got 12 now. That's tops on the Maverick side.
Earlier this year, he wasn't able to finish off those drives, but he's remembered now.
Wes Matthews' first point to the contest.
Mavericks not slowing down the Laker possessions. It's become a Laker-paced game.
John McLeod nervously looking on a moment ago. You saw him. We're down to 47 seconds to go before intermission. Jabbar limits the Mavericks to 1 shot after the Blackman miss. Magic with the running hook. But again, the ball comes right to the Lakers. Worthy steps out of bounds, however, and with 32 ticks of the clock left, Mavericks get it back down by 13, and John McLeod up off the bench to tell Derek Harper exactly what he wants run on this possession with an 8-second difference between the game and shot clock. Very poor shooting first half for Roe Blackman.
1 of 9. 2 points for Rolando, who averaged 20 and shot extremely well in the season series last year, 54%. Luckily for Dallas, Schrempf and Perkins have had above-average offensive.
Shot clock is down to 5. Another drive by Blackman. Wes Matthews reached in, and a late whistle by Jack Madden will catch Mr. Matthews, charge him with his second personal, and send Rolando Blackman, a 94% free throw shooter who has a personal streak going of 19 in a row coming into tonight.
Hasn't mattered too much game by game how he shot from the field because of that number. He's been able to get fouled and roll up the points at the line, and as a result, even though he's only shooting 48%, well below his career number, make it 20 straight, and his average is close to what you'd expect, 17.1 points coming in.
Pat Riley will stop play with a 20-second timeout here. Rolando Blackman tomorrow night in Sacramento will play in his 500th career game as a Dallas Maverick. Of course, he holds the Mavericks all-time consecutive free throw make record set last season with 37 in a row, so he's over halfway to breaking that mark here as Riley, realizing there's still 12 seconds to go, figures his team will get the ball back in time to execute what he wants to go into the locker room on. As you see, Roe Blackman in the Maverick huddle.
Well, a season in which I think he might start finally getting his nationwide due. One magazine already, and I forget which, I think it was Inside Sports, has ranked him as the second best off guard in the NBA behind none other than Michael Jordan. So that's in some pretty good company, ahead of people like Michael Cooper and Byron Scott. And even though he's made 3 straight All-Star teams, he's still one of the best-kept secrets in the NBA.
Mavericks all-time playoff scoring leader with an average of 24 a game in the postseason. Last year averaged 21 a game in the regular season and finished just outside of the top 20 in scoring. Jim Farmer into the ballgame. The Mavericks' first-round draft choice here as Blackman's free throw cuts the Laker advantage to 11. Here's Magic. With the pass into traffic, Cooper picks it up on the perimeter. It's a 2-point shot as he was straddling the line with 2 seconds left. So a busted play still results in points for the Lakers. Farmer in time, but it's going to be short. And so the Mavericks, who stayed with the Lakers for the first quarter and a half, watch the Lakers turn it on down the stretch, and they'll go into the locker room with a 13-point lead, led by who else but Magic Johnson with 14 points. Total of 31 bench points in the 2 games leading up to tonight. Starters are all back in. That means Aguirre and Byron Scott, who missed the majority of the first half with 3 personal fouls, back on for their respective teams. And here's Scott working against Rolando Blackman, and Byron Scott throws it away as Derek Harper picks it off. Blackman, 1 of 9 shooting in the first half, but connects on the drive here. Rose got a half dozen, and Dallas is within 11.
Also Harper with his 3rd steal, Blackman with his 2nd basket, and the kind of start the Mavericks needed here. Any more runs by L.A., and they will feel that it's pretty well in hand.
Jabbar gets a gift rebound there as Sam Perkins loses the handle on it. Byron Scott limited only 8 minutes in the first half. Here's Jabbar on the drive, beat Donaldson. And Kareem's got 12 on 6 of 8 shooting so far. Also 6 rebounds. How many 40-year-old guys can put up those kind of numbers?
How many 40-year-old guys try? McLeod said before the game he was telling people 5 years ago that he really was convinced that Abdul-Jabbar was on his last legs. And about 34 years of age would be as old as he tried to go in the NBA. And he probably will go 1 more year at least after this year.
Lakers with it back after the Maverick miss. Worthy with the perimeter jumper, and Rolando Blackman continues to lead Dallas on the boards. Now has 6. Here's Aguirre, who was effective offensively, but just had the foul difficulties and goes right back to work. He's now got 11 on 5 of 8 shooting.
Earlier in the year, Aguirre was doing this where he would right there get AC Green, in this case, get the defender up off his feet and then lean in and have the defender land on him. And normally he'll at least get free throws and hopefully get a 3-point play, and wasn't getting that call. And so McLeod would really lobby early in games, and the last 3 or 4 games he has been getting a call. So whether the efforts by McLeod have anything to do with it or not, it's cleared itself up.
Dallas within 10. Aguirre's got 12. That foul on AC Green was his 3rd. Byron Scott drills a 3-pointer, his 5th of the season. He was 4th in 3-pointers last year, and Byron almost picks Derek Harper's pocket in the backcourt. Here's Aguirre again calling for the ball and pushing one in off the glass. Mavericks within 11. And Scott built it back to 13. So the 2 guys who were limited by foul difficulties, Byron Scott and Mark Aguirre, trying to make up here early in the 3rd quarter. Aguirre only played 9 minutes in the first half. Here's Harper. Jabbar reaches in, got a hand on it. Shot clock is down to 3. Harper off balance. Aguirre with good hustle, but can't save it.
Well, but a typical Aguirre hustle effort for this year. I don't remember any better hustle out of Mark than what he showed in the Clipper game a couple of nights ago.
Well, don't look now, but Byron Scott is red hot. He has 7 of the Lakers' 9 since intermission, and John McLeod will stop play again. 2 minutes and 45 seconds into quarter number 3, and the Lakers have pushed it out to their largest lead of the night, which is 15 points. Lakers lead the Mavericks by 15 points. Laker coach Pat Riley once played for Dallas Maverick head coach John McLeod.
Little known fact, Riley's last year as a player was 75-76, and that also was the year that McLeod took Phoenix to the NBA Finals. And that was also the finals where the, in most people's minds, greatest NBA game ever was played, the triple overtime Boston-Phoenix game. Riley wanted 7 future NBA coaches involved in that game, along with Mavericks assistant Gar Hearn.
Blackman in jail, lost it off for Aguirre. And Mark continues to stack up the points this period. He's got 7 of the Mavericks' 9 since intermission. And here's Byron Scott. Ball comes free. Perkins saves it ahead to Harper. Mavericks in a 3-on-1 with Jabbar back. And turn the ball over. Magic Johnson ends up with it. Terrible execution there by the Mavericks. Scott leaves it off for Worthy, who drops it through. Hard to figure out how Dallas didn't get a shot off in a 3-on-1.
Well, Abdul-Jabbar obviously takes up a lot of room, but not that much room. 3-on-1, you got to score against anybody.
He's got a shot off. Aguirre's miss, thwarted by Worthy. And here comes Magic steaming into the front court. Now we'll pull it out. He takes up a lot of room, and most of it's up and down.
Yeah, well, Dallas now in a trade baskets mode, or they were. And that's not going to get the job done.
Illegal defense called against Sam Perkins. It was called on the weak side, more than one zone away from James Worthy. Ron McLeod, Richie Adubato next to him. Starting to talk to themselves now. That's the second time the Mavericks have been called for the illegal D, so it's an automatic technical. And Byron Scott, who has yet to miss a free throw this season, is a perfect 13 of 13. Was 10th in the NBA in foul shooting last year. Blackman to 9-3 in the corner this time. Now the give and go. Gets it back from Magic Johnson, does Byron Scott, and he just continues. Have an outstanding third quarter. 10 in the period. Lakers' largest lead is 18 points. Harper for 3. Kareem outlets it to Magic. And the Lakers appear on one of those runs. Dallas does keep the Lakers from scoring in transition. As you see, the give-and-go basket a minute ago by Byron Scott.
Harper tried to slide down. Scott was already past Rolando Blackfoot, but a Cardinal in defensively to let the baseline go. And then, on the other hand, A.C. Green showing the increased outside efficiency of his game.
Well, the score on your screen tells it all. John McLeod stops play with a little over 7 minutes still to go in the third, and the fans starting to rise and applaud for the Lakers, who lead by 20. Last time the Mavericks were in this building last February, they defeated the Lakers 103-99. But as you can see tonight, since Dallas led 39-38, this has been a 40-14 run by the Lakers. We're starting to pile it up with the hot shooting from the field.
Making a lot of the pretty plays that you expect out of the Lakers, but so much of that comes from the hard work, the dirty work that they don't get a whole lot of credit for doing, and what Dallas has had to do and has not so far to get back into this game. Just the little fundamental things of blocking out on defense, playing tighter, cutting off the baseline, things that have fallen apart from a little bit here in the third period.
This is something we've seen all season. The ball just doesn't seem to be bouncing the Mavericks' way either. You saw what appeared to be a Laker turnover. Ball came back down to a yellow-clad player, and they did get a shot off. One successfully, and the other, and Aguirre is successful. He's got 9 in the period, 18 now for the game.
Something else we've seen all year, a period in which no Maverick except for Mark Aguirre can manage to score. He's got 9 of their 11 third-quarter points.
3-second call here on A.C. Green. So the Lakers turn it over. Mavericks down by 18. It's got to be a 40-19 run. I said I'm going to a 40-14. I was reading the 9 as a 4.
40-14, 40-19.
I was going to say 40-19 is bad enough. I shouldn't make it any worse.
Not a whole lot of difference.
Magic Johnson rebounds the long-range miss by Derek Harper. Worthy. Lions home for 2 more.
Boy, way, it's just a team that hit the ground running at the beginning of the year, and they look to be on the same level as they were in the finals last year.
Well, you know, the discouraging thing is it doesn't look like that they're really motoring it up yet either.
Yeah.
They just seem to be just coming in the flow here. Here's A.C. Green with another board. And again, the Lakers looking for the break.
Both teams at about 80%, but the Lakers 80% really is 20 points better than Dallas at this point in the season and in the coaching of John McLeod in Dallas. He has just not had time yet to get everything in place he wants to, whereas Pat Riley knew what he had coming back, and the Lakers knew what they wanted as a team this year. And boy, they're well on their way. I haven't seen a single flaw in their game tonight.
Hustle and effort gives them a second chance here, but eventually they turn it over. And Roe Blackman, Mavericks in a 2-on-2, bangs on Magic and gets the foul call. On last year's most valuable player. It's the first against Magic and the second on the Lakers this quarter. And Roe Blackman will go back to the foul line. Frustrated so far tonight, has only 2 baskets from the field. Roy Tarpley is back into the game for the Mavericks, replacing Sam Perkins.
Speaking of frustrated, and it didn't manage a point in the first half.
Rowe is now 2 of 11 from the field. Has been in double figures all 7 games so far. Has scored 19 points each of the last 2 games coming into tonight. And that ends the free throw streak at 21 in a row. Blackman came in with a streak of 19 straight from the line, made his first 2 in the second quarter, but misses the one here. 7 for Blackman. Mavericks are down by 19, a little over halfway through quarter number 3. The 1-point game at the end of the first quarter. Lakers led by 13 at the intermission and are slowly building it up here so far in the third period. Byron Scott with his second three-pointer of the period. What a quarter for Byron Scott, 13.
Well, Abdul-Jabbar well below last year's scoring, which was in itself a career low. But as Blackman hits, just the threat of Abdul-Jabbar still requires 2 or sometimes 3 defenders, and he had 3 guys around him that time. What that creates is wide open jumpers that scare him.
Wide open jumper there by James Worthy, who's got 17. Yes, Jabbar has the lowest scoring average amongst the 5 Lakers starters at 14.5.
Yeah, but if you assume that he's only capable of scoring 14.6,
yes,
he can still hit you for 30, 35 points.
Wires miss. Here come the Lakers again. Mavericks getting back. Magic drives around Tarpley. Well, the Lakers are just in a different zone right here as the advantage goes to 24 points. Lakers just executing to perfection.
And that's the frustrating thing. That time, textbook defense in terms of getting back and contesting what Magic did, and it still didn't matter. It could get real demoralizing at this point.
Misses. Dwyer had the rebound for a minute, loses it. Jabbar now will be the trigger man on the break. Green to finish after the pass to Magic, but Derek Harper gets called for the foul. That's about the only way to stop the Lakers right here is to foul them. First foul on the Mavericks since the intermission, and Uwe Blab has checked back on for James Donaldson. Blab saw 4 minutes worth of action in the first half.
Well, I think showtime is in session.
Yep.
And it's been a long time since Dallas has seen that this early in a game. Still 3 minutes and 40 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Lakers cranking it up, looking for the fast break opportunity on every possession as Brad Davis comes back in for Derek Harper as John McLeod shuffling the deck, looking for a combination that can do better than the group on the floor. Green up to 8 rebounds now. And 10 points, making 1 of 2. 25-point Laker lead. As LA appears well on their way to their 8th consecutive victory to start this season. Their next opponent is Milwaukee here Sunday night. Dwyer sandwiched between 2 defenders. He's had a strong 11-point third quarter. So despite being limited to 9 minutes of action the first half, McGuire is already to 20 for the game.
And again, no matter the problems that some of his teammates continue to have offensively, McGuire gets the points regardless.
Well, James Worthy, that is one part of his game which has really picked up now in his 6th season, the outside jumper. Worthy, a 56% career field goal shooter.
Yeah, they used to say the same things about Worthy that they used to say about Magic Johnson.
Oh, look at that play by Aguirre. And one as the foul is on Jabbar inside.
Outstanding move by Aguirre here.
Definitely worth another look. Look at how high he throws the ball up off the glass.
But to get in position for it here, again, you have to wonder if he could have done it last year. That extra 20 pounds that he doesn't have to carry creates so many more possibilities for him.
Where the scorers get theirs in bunches, and that is definitely what is happening for Mark Aguirre so far tonight. Jabbar departs as Michael Thompson is back on. Three-point play cuts the Laker lead to 22. But still the Lakers very much in control. Scott snuffed inside by Blob. Blackman chases it down.
Third block of the game by
And Aguirre putting his own individual version of Showtime on display to the Laker faithful.
to their
Oohs
credit.
and ahs on that one.
They know a good show when they see it, no matter who puts it on.
And they seem to appreciate a good show by whoever wants to put it on, even if he's not wearing the gold of the Lakers. Again, Worthy from the outside. Green and Tarpley get tangled up, and Tarpley knocks the ball out of bounds. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Dallas Mavericks Basketball Network.
Michael J. Fox helps kick off Totally Awesome Movies Week in Poison Ivy, Sunday night at 6 on KTVT Channel 11, Fort Worth, Dallas.
Mavericks worked so much on the fast break in training camp that 2 levels of their game have suffered as a result, and they're just now starting to get in the swing of things, and that's the half-court offense and the defense, and Richie Adubato has yet to get a chance to implement a lot of the things that might prevent this from happening in the future.
Mavericks don't block out defensively. They'll take it all the way. They love A.C. Green in Los Angeles, who is exploding at the beginning of his 3rd season. He's up to 14 and into double figures on the boards tonight.
One way you keep it such a high level if you're the Lakers is to steal a draft pick like A.C. Green last in the 1st round, as they did in 1985. Everybody in the NBA had a shot at him. He's turned into one of the 2 or 3 most impressive members of that class.
Mavericks take it away here. Rolando Blackman throws it into the stands along the sideline. And that will bring about a reaction from the Forum crowd. Look at your scorebook and realize that only 2 Dallas players have scored this half. Aguirre with 16, Blackman with 5.
2 you would expect.
And that's it. That's Dallas' total of 21. Scott always looking for that 3, and boy, puts it up with Rolando Blackman right in his face. Most impressive quarter I think I've ever seen by Byron Scott.
One of the most impressive by the Lakers as a whole, and it's just a scrimmage for them now. It's just how good can we look. They're playing against only their own expectations at this point.
Rolando Blackman sneaks into double figures with that layup. He's got 11. The Lakers don't know how to take the foot off the pedal either, as there's A.C. Green, just relentless, out fighting Uwe Blob. A.C. Green, what a performance tonight. 6'9", 224-pounder. That's 10 rebounds for Green, we've been told, and 16 points now.
I think the only more perfect power forward for the Laker game might be Karl Malone, but A.C. Green doesn't give up a whole lot for Mr. Malone when he plays like he has tonight.
Those are Tarpley's first points of the game, and the first point by any Maverick this quarter except for Aguirre Blackman. Mavericks get it away with 2 seconds. Davis in time and online, but a little bit too hard. And the 3rd quarter comes to an end in the Forum as the Lakers are totally dominating the Mavericks, up by 25.
Every fan who enters Reunion Arena when the Mavericks meet Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls on November 27th will receive a Mavericks towel. Compliments of Miller Lite and the Dallas Morning News. Mavericks Towel Night, November 27th, before the Mavericks meet the Bulls.
Alan Stone and Dave Barnett back at the Forum in Los Angeles, ready to start the 4th quarter. Roy Tarpley will inbound the ball for the Mavericks, who have dug themselves a major league hole, now down by 25 points. And Dallas has experienced this sort of performance a couple of times this season. In the 2nd game of the year, they were drilled by the San Antonio Spurs by 24. Utah caught them 4 nights later by 29. Brad Davis gets the scoring started here in the final stanza as the Mavericks close to within 23. And, of course, the Lakers at the other end, Dave, are very used to running up these kinds of scores.
Back to the very beginning of the telecast, 2 straight games coming into this one of 140 plus. And they're getting used to the 23 and 24-point margins of victory. Davis pulls off a nice steal. If the Mavericks can't cut too deeply into this margin, that's 3 losses this year of at least 24, and it happened only 4 times all of last year.
Wow. Picks up an offensive rebound and jams it home. His second basket of the contest. The Lakers won by 27 here Tuesday night, and over the weekend against San Antonio won by 17. Some sort of a violation by the Lakers turns the ball back over to the Mavericks.
That's our cameraman down there. Happy birthday to Joey.
Oh, he's taking a picture of his own birthday greetings. All right. Brad Davis gets yet another hoop.
It's going to be a dream come true for Joey. His name and lights on the Forum scoreboard.
Pat Riley, ever the Warrior, stops play as the Mavericks have closed to within 19. This is a 20-second timeout. Riley just wants to make sure the intensity level stays up. Dallas with a little mini run of 6 points, the first 6 here in the final stanza, as LA looks to go 8-0. They've been outscoring their opponents by an average for the season of 15 points a contest.
They really, realistically, at this point, both teams are really just playing against the standard that they have in their own minds. The Mavericks obviously haven't lived up to theirs, and they have one more quarter to try to get something positive out of this and not just be totally wiped out. And the Lakers want to keep it right where it is. Every level of their game has been just about perfect so far, and the way Riley keeps it this high night after night is not to tolerate any sloppiness, and thus the 22nd timeout, less than 2 minutes into the 4th quarter, up 19.
Here's Michael Thompson in the lane against Aguirre. Lakers get it back. Again, the ball just seems to be bouncing LA's way, and that has been a trend the Mavericks have had to contend with since opening night. Here's Cooper. Burns one from the outside. Now, Pat Riley started to talk about repeating almost as while the applause was still in the air when the Lakers won the title here in June.
It literally still was. They had the civic ceremony and the parade and all that, and at that ceremony, he said, "I guarantee the Lakers will repeat." That's got to be a first.
A.C. Green is fouled on his way to the basket by Detlef Shrimp after the Maverick turnover. Are you're with at the top of the telecast tonight as John McLeod rather discussed it on the Maverick bench. You heard Jerry West responding to those who say that the Lakers won't repeat because no one repeats after 18 consecutive teams have failed to do so. The prognosticators figure that an injury or a malaise or something will knock down this LA ball club. Not much is knocking down A.C. Green's game. He's up to 18 points, unofficially 7 of 8 from the field.
All you have to rely on, though, talking about what might happen to the Lakers is history, which is pretty convincing, as it does happen every year. But until it happens, the Lakers' attitude continues to be, somebody's got to show us that they're going to stop us, and there's nobody in the league that's shown that capability so far.
Away from the action, Roy Tarpley and Kurt Rambis square off. John McLeod comes onto the floor to try to restore order and also to quiet down his second-year big man at the University of Michigan. The foul was on Michael Thompson. Aguirre's basket counts give him 27. As Tarpley and Rambis got tangled up away from the ball. Now Mark Aguirre just stepped over to have a word with Kurt Rambis as well. Several peacemakers on the scene. Mavericks are down by 21. Tarpley steps in front of a pass meant for Michael Thompson, ahead to Shrimp, who again takes it to the basket aggressively and not trying to make too much out of the situation because Detlef has 8 points, but it's a very positive step for a player who has seemingly lost his confidence the last 2 or 3 games. And here's Shrimp here, making the right play, but was standing out of bounds. Lakers get another chance.
Well, the only better game that Shrimp has had this year, as Perkins checks in for Aguirre, was the big win in Seattle. Mavericks went up there. Everybody said, well, they're not playing well enough to avenge what happened in the playoffs a year ago, and they won by 16 points, and Shrimp was the catalyst in the second quarter, which was the key that night. And he's been at a very consistently low level, certainly in scoring since then, and he's returned back to that Seattle-type effort tonight. But what McLeod needs from Schrempf is what he continues to look for from the entire team, and that's show me you can do it night after night.
Boy, Thompson draws defenders like a magnet on that drive to the hoop. Roy Tarpley gets called for his second. Well, he all of a sudden got crowded.
Major league foul by Tarpley.
On the way to the Laker basket.
That's impressive just to stop the dunk. That's a fairly strong human you're looking at.
You talk about the Lakers winning by big margins. 3 of the Mavericks' 4 victories have been by double figures. You mentioned the 16-point win over Seattle. They had an 11-point victory over Portland Saturday night and a 10-point win over the Clippers Wednesday. The only close call opening night when Derek Harper drilled a 3-pointer with 1 second to go to give the Mavericks a 2-point win. Davis, he had 3 baskets in the period. Mavericks bench has scored 10 points this quarter alone.
I wonder how many people here remember when Brad Davis was a Laker. Played with people like Lou Hudson. Well, this really dates Brad here. Lou Hudson was a teammate. Charlie Scott, Don Chaney, who's gone on to coach, Dave Robish, Don Ford, Tom Abernathy, Earl Tatum, Ernie DiGregorio. The first tour of duty for Kermit Washington of the NBA. Just a few of Brad's Laker buddies back in 1977. Brad's still in the league. A great tribute.
Foul was on Tarpley. Comes away with the rebound here. I get the feeling you prepared yourself for that. Look at that jam by Tarpley in the open court on the alley-oop pass from Detlef Schrempf. Only the second basket by Tarpley in the ballgame and deserving of another look.
Perfect pass. And Tarpley, one of the best at finishing off an alley-oop like that. Well, I've still got my list of coaches to be from the Phoenix-Boston triple overtime game, if you care to get to it.
No, we'll get that in a minute. I'm just impressed with the amount of homework you did, Mr. Barnett. Outstanding. Brad Davis, who played with Lou Hudson at all 10 years ago in L.A. Ahead to Schrempf and Wes Matthews knocks it out of bounds. Lou Hudson
did it just like Lou would have done, too. I mean, those guys, some of those guys are almost 50 years old now, I think. That Laker team, though, the last before the real dynasty started to get put into place. And a lot of those guys were toward the end of their career rather than the start of it.
Michael Thompson reaches over the back of Uwe Blas. First team foul on the Lakers. Just under 8 minutes still to go, and Dallas down by 17. So they've made a little bit of progress. It was a 25-point deficit starting this quarter. Here's Perkins. Flips it in with the right hand. Sam started off strong with an 8-point first quarter. That basket there gets him to 12. Jabbar and Magic have gone to the scorer's table, so Pat Riley not feeling all that comfortable, but Cooper starting that great range has 13 off the bench tonight. Realize this is 426th consecutive regular season game. If you count the playoffs, 527 contests in a row for Michael Cooper, who, when you look at him, would appear to be one of the frailest players in the league. Perkins, Laker touched it, so Sam able to grab it back. Mavericks are within 15.
Said he lost possession and then started a new possession when everybody wanted to travel for.
Byron, no, Wes Matthews threw that ball away as Magic Johnson, Byron, Scott, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar will all check back in. So Pat Riley, once again, coaching, as we said, with that extreme intensity. Not going to let the Lakers coast and not going to let the Mavericks get any closer if he can help it. Sends in the frontliners. Mavericks have only one starter on the floor, and that is the man with the ball, Perkins, up top to Tarpley. Roy bags the outside jump shot. Mavericks would like to see Roy start passing up a few of those, Dave, though, and start playing.
That one, he was wide open. He's taken a lot of those, though, where he's been closely guarded.
Look at Tarpley here against Magic. Takes it away from him. Mavericks look to get within 11 with a basket. So the Mavericks' best run of the evening. Tarpley low over Jabbar. And it is an 11-point lead. And you see Pat Riley's reaction on the Laker bench. 6:21 to go. Mavericks getting the production from their bench or fighting their way back in this one as they trail by 11. Because this is a West Coast game, a lot of the other NBA action is already ramped up this evening. We will tell you that the Chicago Bulls have won again tonight. to go to 7-1. And Boston, without Larry Bird or Kevin McHale, has lost again this evening. Kevin McCarthy will wrap up all the NBA scores on the Dallas Morning News scoreboard following tonight's game, so stay with us for that. 22-8 run by the Mavericks in this quarter to get back to within 11. Magic hammering for the ball, loses it inside. The ball is kicked by the Lakers, and the Mavericks will get it back with a chance to get to within 9, and the disbelieving Magic Johnson heads back up court, and the Mavericks with a very impressive run.
Well, it's interesting all of a sudden, isn't it? 6 different Mavericks have scored this quarter as opposed to just about a 2-man game in the third period. And not so much a Laker letdown. Just a lot better shooting, a lot better execution by Dallas, and now a 9-point game.
Brad Davis with 8 of his 10 coming this period. And look at the cast of characters that's doing it for the Mavericks. Shrimp and Davis in the backcourt. A front line of Blob, Tarpley, Perkins. Lakers commit an offensive foul. Michael Thompson turns it over. A.C. Green will check back into the game for the Lakers. Dallas is 12 of 14 shooting this period and can get to within 7 with a hoop.
How many were they down at one point? 23? 24? Doesn't seem that long ago.
I think it was 27 at one point. 27. Low to Perkins against Worthy. The red-hot shooting continues. Perkins has got 16, and it is a 7-point game with 5:18 to go, and you can hear the restlessness in the forum. Shrimp takes it away from Magic Johnson.
Very un-Magic-like. He dribbled it off his own leg. And who would have believed this about 5 minutes ago?
7 Laker turnovers this period, only 1 for the Mavericks. Byron Scott, though, forces turnover number 2. As Brad Davis telegraphed that pass inside. And what a cast of characters to pull it off for the Mavericks. Only Sam Perkins amongst the starters on the floor.
Well, they're beyond moral victories, but whatever happens, this alone has really got to encourage John McCloud and company.
Boy, Byron Scott, that's a big basket. Rattled it around and in. Scott's got 22, and it sends the tide at least momentarily. McGuire's on the bench. Blackman's on the bench. Donaldson's on the bench, as is Derek Harper. Mavericks closest they have been since midway through the second quarter.
Boy, this says a lot. The form crowd chanting defense.
Rob Smith is boarded by Byron Scott.
Not a shot you want Ube to take. Not from 15 feet away.
Davis is banged on by Magic Johnson, who gets the foul call against Brad.
Mavericks got it down to 7, and then a turnover on Davis's intercepted pass. Blob with the questionable shot there. And the trouble with being so far behind the Lakers is you just can't make any mistakes. You have to play a perfect quarter when you're down 25, as they were entering this period.
And you begin to wonder how much longer Coach John McCall would go with this unit. What with Pat Riley going with basically all starters here. You see the smile on Brad Davis's face as he checks out with 10 points. Magic up to 18. Not much doubt he is the premier guard in the NBA today, and maybe the best guard ever to play the game.
Probably will go to second on the all-time NBA assist list.
Shrimp has to get that shot over Jabbar, and double-figure scoring for Detlef Shrimp. As again, the Mavericks are within 9. Got it down to 7 a moment ago.
Well, you can see him remembering what it used to be like.
Jabbar loses the ball inside. It's kicked by the Mavericks. And here comes Mark Aguirre back into the game with his game-high 27 points.
For Perkins, there's a recognition factor now. They're shooting the way you expect them to. Everything's all of a sudden, just in the span of an instant almost this quarter, it came together, and it became fluid again for them. They started working hard and getting the fruits of that on the defensive end, and it's a game again.
Aguirre is on for Blob. Byron Scott. Magic posting on Harper. Cross-court pass to Scott for 3. That's his 4th three-pointer of the ballgame. Byron Scott. Aguirre loses it in traffic, but is fouled. The reach is going to be on Byron Scott. It's the 3rd on the Lakers this period. But the three-pointers from long range by Byron Scott have really helped the Lakers tonight. 4 of 4 Byron Scott from out there.
Go way back to the first quarter. Early foul trouble as Tarpley hits again. And Byron Scott had 4 first-half points. So, again, you just never know which Laker is going to be the one to throw the dagger at you on a given night.
Mavericks within 10, and here's a very positive stat. Mavericks have 3 of their non-starters in double figures. Tarpley, Shrimp, and Brad Davis. Aguirre double and triple team, and the Mavericks take it away. Derek Harper ahead to Tarpley, to Aguirre. It's an 8-point ball game, and the Mavericks this period 16 of 19. The lights out shooting.
First time all year they have had this kind of bench production with 3 people in double figures.
Jabbar gets fouled, the push from behind by Sam Perkins. That'll put the Lakers in the penalty with 2:31 still to go. Mavericks will call a timeout. Dallas down by as many as 27 midway through the third quarter, within 8 points. Now let's go for the whole enchilada here. Kareem's at the foul line with 12 points after the foul that Rick was referring to was called on Sam Perkins, and Kareem cooperates. Lakers have only scored 15 points this period.
Down from 37 last period. Again, I said before, I think the Mavericks are well beyond accepting moral victories, and Kareem opens the door another crack, and they can come within 6 here.
And of course, with 2 minutes and 23 seconds remaining, it really becomes important for the Mavericks to score every time down the floor. Aguirre on the follow after the miss by Perkins, and Mark will have a chance to get Dallas a little bit closer with the clock stopped. James Worthy gets called for only his second, the 4th against the Lakers.
Huge offensive board by Aguirre. And the challenge for Dallas now, they have to get quick shots, but they can't take quick bad shots. It was a tough one Sam took that still almost dropped for him.
3rd straight game for Aguirre to get to 30, 35 and 31. 2 prior games make it 30 here as he converts only 1 of 2, and Dallas is within 7. And you will see this man handling the ball for the Lakers almost all the time from here on out.
First pass, 14 seconds into the possession, and a quick shot, surprisingly there.
And again, the door remains open for the Mavericks. Here's Aguirre for 3. Online! The 3rd three-pointer for Aguirre. You can see wearing his emotions on his face as that gets Dallas to within 4.
Allen, he was 3 feet beyond the 3-point arc when he let that one go.
Way out front, Mike Lauerman has called a holding foul against the Mavericks
on Harper.
Boy, that is a strange call from out of nowhere. Derek Harper gets called for a hold. Mike Lauerman was at midcourt at best, so he had to be 30 feet away to make that call, but it sends Magic to the line.
Coaches all over the NBA bemoan the fact, not that it's Magic's fault, that the slightest bit of contact ends up with Magic on the line. That was a great example.
Magic had made 5 straight from the stripe. It's a 5-point ball game. It's a minute and a half to go. Here's Aguirre. Can't connect on this one, but Tarpley will get another chance for the Mavericks. Kareem all over him. Gets it to Perkins. And they'll say Perkins stepped out of bounds on the sideline. That is a very costly turnover by Dallas. Only their 3rd of the period.
Good job by Tarpley here. He doesn't automatically put it back up, finds the open man, and Perkins at that point not thinking so much about where he was. He thought he had plenty of room.
Magic beats Harper. And we'll go to the foul line. Dan Perkins gets called for the foul, his 5th. This is Magic's game down the stretch. Now that it's close, he will control the show. And that was part of the Mavericks game plan, Dave, was to try to keep him from driving, because if he doesn't score outright, he's almost always going to get the foul call.
And that's almost an automatic 2 points, 88% this year, and that's almost unheard of, where on back-to-back chances he makes only 1 of 2.
So the Lakers continue to cooperate. Magic makes only 1 of 2. With 1:05 to go, it's Lakers by 6, and we'll take this timeout along the Dallas Mavericks Basketball Network. Mavericks down by 6 with 1:05 to go, and it's time for us to announce our All-State Good Hands Award. We're going to give it to A.C. Green of the Lakers, who's had a big ball game. His hands have been on quite a few rebounds so far this evening.
Number 1 rebounder coming in for the Lakers, and number 9 tied with Roy Tarpley in the NBA. He's got his average tonight, 11, and just a typically hard-working night for A.C. Green, although the way the Mavericks have come back, there could be a lot of nominees for that award.
And the Allstate Good Hands Award has been brought to you by Allstate Insurance. Remember, for all your insurance needs, Allstate Insurance, a member of the Sears Financial Network. Dallas needs 2 3-pointers or 3 common garden variety 2-pointers.
And I would
tie this one up.
I would think they go strictly for a 2 unless somebody's wide open for a 3 here, because there is time.
Dwyer burned the 3-pointer a few minutes ago for about 3 feet behind. 3-point strike. Tarpley low at good position and rattles it home.
Left-handed, no less.
10 points in the period for Roy Tarpley, and it's a 4-point game.
Over Kareem, no less. He had to get that down. Now the long Laker possession. Again, they are 14 seconds into it. Magic not even looking for a pass yet.
Bleeding that clock. Offensive foul call on A.C. Green for pushing on Derek Harper. So the Lakers turn it over again. And with 36 seconds to go, Derek Harper slow getting up and obviously in some discomfort. But the Mavericks down by only 2 baskets. It's Pat Riley not liking the way this fourth quarter has gone. Realize the Lakers led by 25 when we started this period. Mavericks have come 21 points back. Harper yo-yoing. Perkins inside. Aguirre. And the Lakers are going to be called for a foul inside. It's going to go on A.C. Green. And Aguirre will go to the foul line with 18 seconds to go and a chance to bring the Mavericks to within 2. And Aguirre, like Derek Harper, in some discomfort, looked like he took a shot to the nose. He's going to take as much time as he can and wait for the pain to subside.
Now, Perkins rips that one away from Worthy, just sheer strength, and it goes to Aguirre. Now there's a split second here where you're not sure if they're going to call anything. That was a relatively late foul call by Jack Madden, and Aguirre shakes it off and needs 2 free throws here as Michael Cooper, Mr. 3-pointer and Mr. Defense, checks in for the Lakers. Aguirre has missed 3 of the 4 he shot so far this period.
And relatively minor contact as the replay showed us on that foul. Aguirre perfect here. And mark up to 34. And a chance to make it a 2-point game. 18 seconds to go. Mavericks have outscored the Lakers by 23 points this period. Dallas needs to put some pressure on because the Lakers don't have to do anything.
Awfully surprising they didn't have more in the backcourt there in the way of pressure.
And finally, Dallas seemingly a bit confused, but Roy Tarpley pushes his 4th foul. You see John McLeod looking on with 7 seconds to go. Cooper, who has missed 1 free throw so far this year, is 12 of 13 from the line. John McLeod wants to use his 20 to talk it over. He can call it now or do it between the free throws. He's going to do it right here.
Well, Michael Cooper is cold. He's the last Laker to check in. On the other hand, you said he's only missed once this year. But on that last series, only 2 Mavericks back, and neither one aggressively going after the ball. And time was running down to the extent that they needed to make something happen immediately as soon as that ball came in.
Well, Dallas should have been more aware because there was 18 seconds on the clock when Aguirre was fouled, and the team sure had an awful lot of time there to get themselves straight about exactly how much time there was. And with anything under 24, you know the Lakers don't have to do anything when they get the ball, so you've got to force the issue defensively.
And you don't necessarily want to foul, because especially a good shooter like Cooper, because if you're down 4 with 7 seconds to go, that's tantamount to a win for the Lakers. They're not going to do something stupid to give you 4 points in a situation like this.
Mavericks will get a chance as Cooper misses the first.
Barring an offensive rebound by the Lakers here. That's the only thing Mavericks have to prevent.
That one crawls over. Mavericks will stop play again. Down by 3. 7 seconds to go. We'll take this local break and come back to the Forum right after this. Well, now you do have to think three-pointer if you're the Dallas Mavericks. Down by 3, 7 seconds to go. Dave Aguirre has the only three-pointer by the Mavericks tonight and 3 for the season. Derek Harper, who had the most last year with 76, has 4 this season, which is tops on the Maverick team.
And it's going to be interesting to see if John McLeod puts Detlef Schrempf in. Second in the NBA a year ago. He won't. Schrempf still has his warm-ups on. Also would have been interesting had he decided to go with a real long shot. Get Steve Alford in there, who hasn't played now for 2 straight games. But it's going to be the same 5 for Dallas. Perkins, Tarpley, Blackman, Harper, Aguirre, all of whom have that kind of range. And another key, Mavericks totally out of timeouts. They have to get the ball inbounds here.
And Sam Perkins will trigger the inbound pass from midcourt. Actually, it's a little inside of midcourt. Blackman. What's the call?
Foul in that corner, and Blackman will shoot.
Magic Johnson is called for the foul inside with 4 seconds to go. Blackman will go to the foul line with Dallas down by 3, and Rolando is 3 of 4 tonight.
Well,
Mavericks talking it over as to exactly what they want to do here.
Obviously, what you'd like is one make, an offensive rebound, and a follow to tie it up. That's awful hard to do, though, to deliberately miss and direct it to a teammate. So the other option, try and make them both. And then you have to do something on the inbounds play, an immediate foul, and hope to get one more chance if the Lakers make both their free throws at a last-second tying a winning shot.
Now, don't forget the bad strategy by the Lakers to deny Dallas the long-range shot that could force this game into overtime. Now the strategy becomes more complex. Blackman buries that one to no one's surprise.
He's been here. This is nothing different than the All-Star game, and this is what he's looking at.
2-point game with 4 seconds to go.
Got to get a quick foul, and they do. 2 seconds gone.
A quick 2 seconds at that.
Does that surprise you?
No, it doesn't. Sam Perkins has fouled out of the ball game with 16 points. No matter what happens in these final 2 seconds, one of the most incredible turnarounds in Maverick history, considering who they are playing against, the Lakers, who led by 25 points starting this season. Now watch the clock, and we'll show you how the 2 seconds ran off the clock. The clock will not start until the ball is touched inbounds.
Well, it looked legitimate on reviewing it. I don't think they sped it up at all.
Hooper at the line, where he cooperated a few moments ago by missing 1 of 2. Lakers undefeated at home with a 25-point lead heading into this quarter. Mavericks have shaved off 24 points of that lead. Now back to 2 for LA and 3 as Cooper makes them both.
No timeouts for Dallas.
Aguirre. Mavericks don't get the shot off. With only 2 seconds to go, Aguirre attempted a cross-court pass to Derek Harper. Would have had to have hit from midcourt to force overtime, but the Mavericks have a great 4th quarter, get 24 points off their bench in the period. 36 off their bench overall, but they are not able to keep the Lakers from making it 8 in a row to start the season. Mavericks dropped to 4-4. Our final score, the defending world champion Lakers 119, the Mavericks 116. We'll be back to the Forum to wrap this one up right after this.